What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. So this is video number 1 for this channel. I do have a main channel that is purely fitness and workouts and challenges and all that stuff, but for this channel I'm going back into skating after 13 years, so I'm pretty much starting over, and it kind of sucks, but it's super fun. My boy hooked me up with a pretty good Baker board. Of course, it's used. It's a nice Baker board, but I re-gripped it yesterday with some fresh mob grip, and then he hooked me up with these trucks for 20 bucks, Thunders, and then bought some bushings for it. Hooked me up with some primitive wheels, and then I ordered some ABEX 7 blue steels from CCS along with the skate tool. So this board is actually really solid. It's an 8.25. I used to skate 7.75s back in the day, which narrow boards were a thing, you know, 7.5, 7.25 skinny boards, but now a lot of people skate 8s, 8.25s, 8.5s, even 9s, which is crazy to me. But those are good for bowls, carvings, and all that stuff. I was always into technicality, technical tricks, rails and all that stuff, so I always use narrow boards, but it's all based on preference. I'm getting used to this 8.25. It's actually a really good board. I love it, but I wanted to show you guys, and I wanted to try it myself, is making my own wax. So I know you can go buy some. I used to use ledge butter back in the day. I don't even know if they have ledge butter. If they do, let me know down below. It's real simple. So you're supposed to use olive oil, but I have vegetable oil. So we'll see if that works in place of it. It should, because they're both oil-based. And then you use a little bit of dish soap and then some butter. Melt that all together. Get a candle, some cheap candles you can get for like 99 cents, 50 cents, probably even cheaper than that, I don't know. Bought a big $4 one, and I'm just gonna cut that up into pieces. That way I can have multiple uses for later on. We'll get to the process. Let's see if it works. Melt it all into this can that I have right here. So I'm gonna heat up the water that's around it, heating up the can, melting everything inside that. Once it's all formed and mixed well, then let it dry, and then let's see how well it waxes. All right, so since this thing is huge, it's gonna take up more than the can, so I'm only gonna cut maybe a third of this, put it in there as it's heating up, mix up the butter and vegetable oil, and put a little bit of dish soap. All right, so before I'm even heating this up, I'm just gonna put a little bit in there. Not a lot, just a little bit. Should be enough. Let's put a little bit more. All right, that's good enough for me. I don't eat butter anyways. This is usually what my wife eats. So we'll put it to some use. That might be enough. I don't even know. I don't even know what the measurements are for this. So we got the butter in there. Put this on there. Now I gotta cut this. Probably just gonna only use a third, that way if I need to make more later on I can. So I'll probably cut it right here, leave the rest for later. It is what it is. I got all my chunks in here. This is the rest I'm gonna be saving for later. All this is gonna be pretty good wax that's gonna go inside here. All right, so start putting in our wax. All right, I'm not gonna worry about all these shavings. That's gonna be kind of gonna make a mess, and I don't want it to drop into there, so you just can all this. So I'll let this sit in there and melt, probably about 5-10 minutes, we'll see. Keep it on medium heat, and then we'll go after that. All right, so I got my Dawn dish soap. I'm just gonna put it in. This is starting to melt together. Probably put a decent amount. That's probably about 4 or 5 drops. Add a little bit more just to make it a little more slipperier. And just let this melt. It's probably not even gonna take the full 10 minutes, probably take about 5 minutes. All right, guys, so the next thing you wanna do is get a mold, something you're gonna pour this into. A lot of people use Tupperware. That gives you a wide variety of shapes and sizes, but I want my wax to be a stubby little block. So I'm using the bottom of my fish oil can. It's plastic. That way I can just flex it, squeeze it out, pop it out. But I want it to be this thickness. I want it to be this shape. A nice round shape, that way you can just palm it real nice. Yeah, so we'll see. All right, guys, it's almost getting there. If you want to give a little motivation, mix it. Looks like it's mixing very well. You can see it's starting to solidify already. still really hot. Might just put this in the freezer because you don't want something scorching hot to sit on something ice cold because it will crack it and break it, and you don't want to do that. So we'll let it sit on a folded towel to prevent that shelf from cracking because this is super hot. All right. We'll come back probably an hour or so and see where it's at. For right now, goodbye. All right, so it's been just a few minutes, and ooh, the top layer is good, but it's still liquidy throughout. So I say give it the full hour and it should solidify into a nice ugly little block. So I got it out of the mold. This is what it looks like afterwards. It's not too bad. It actually took less than 30 minutes in the freezer. It does feel nice and slick, and I'll show you the difference between this compared to the candle it was from. So this is what the candle was from. I mean, yeah, it's slick as well. It's white. This one feels a lot drier. Like, it doesn't feel like it would wax anything. The ultimate test is at the park later on today, so let's go. All right, guys. So brought the wax. Let's see how well this works. Or on the hubba. Let's see. Oh man, that is slick. Get the side so I can do some no slides at least.